Hey everybody, Vic Cooper here. For the last 12 weeks, my company HearRo has been involved with the SSI Incubator program. The program is run by the Sovereign Foundation and HearRo, a venture capital firm. The goal of the program was to help startups like HearRo, who have products based on SSI, get their products out into the world, and to promote self-sovereign identity in general. HearRo was one of 5 companies participating in the program, and last week we had a chance to give our final presentations and have a celebration at the AWS Loft in downtown San Francisco. This video is the presentation that I gave, which explains more about what HearRo is all about and what we think makes it so special. I don't really go into what self-sovereign identity is exactly and the basics of it. So if you're looking for that information, there are tons of great information on the sovereign.org website or in other videos that we posted.
How's it going, honey?
Well, I'm nervous, but also super excited. It's so cool to be finally to this point, to be able to present what we've been working on, and yeah, I mean, anything could happen at this point, right? So, we've heard a lot about identity and credentials tonight, but the basic message that I'm here to tell you is that SSI is not just about identity and credentials. In fact, I think I have one of the more exciting stories to tell. Because actually I feel like it's the greatest communication platform ever. I think this is going to be a groundbreaking technology that's going to affect the whole telecommunications industry. And what I'm going to talk about tonight is why. It's a whole new way to identify and connect people, organizations, and things. It's so important, it needs its own acronym. So, true to my roots as a communications professional, I now am saying it's identity-based communications, IDC. From my background as a telecommunications consultant for 20 years, this is something that's going to rock this world. And the thing about it, powered by self-sovereign identity, using the trust over IP stack, it creates unique, personalized connections between people, organizations, and things. But what's the problem? Why do we need a new telecommunications system? What's actually broken here? And the question that sort of kicked HearRo off was, why is it so hard to communicate with most companies? And just to give you a very simple example, I'm going to talk about the curious case of the not-so-smart smartphone. We all carry these supercomputers in our pockets, right? But then we go to call almost any company, when we want to use it to call just about any company, this is what ends up happening. We go to a phone screen, press a bunch of digits like it's 1969. You might as well be using a touch-tone phone.
If you need help, hang up and then dial your operator.
And your incredible smartphone is turned into just, an appliance from the 1960s. And from my perspective as a telecommunications consultant, enterprise communications is broken. We've failed you. And we all know that. When we call into most companies, we dread it. Who wants to call their bank to try to get something done? Nobody. And one of the main reasons is we're stuck using analog phone systems. Why are we still using analog circuits? It makes no sense. Well, it does because something is really lacking. And also, if you haven't noticed, the channels that we can communicate are getting more and more. So companies the companies that I've seen can't solve this problem. Maybe your airline who can throw millions and millions of dollars, and they do have to throw millions and millions of dollars at the problem, can sort of solve the problem. But they're basically trying to solve it from the top down when it's really broken at the core. So, and I mean, almost any system you put in, whether it's Genesis, Cisco, whatever, you're looking at 7 figures to get this into most companies. And from our perspective as a user, it's way too hard, I think, to do basic things like just connect, identify and authenticate yourself, exchange information. Have you ever tried to give your cell phone or your email address over the phone? It's excruciating. Talk about 16 digits of your credit card number. You've all been there. It's ridiculous. And then after that first call, what happens if you need to call them back? What are you doing? You're starting over, basically. And if you need to keep track of something across all these different phone calls, these texts, these emails, good luck. You're on your own. And the lack of trusted identity is what I think is the core problem that we're dealing with. The phone system was never designed with identity and trust in mind. But with SSI, now a missing piece that we needed is now available. And it's time for a new approach. So to us, that's the way it should work. When I want to call, and I pick on Wells Fargo because they've been my bank for 30 years. I had to call them the other day. They had no idea who I was. And in order to talk to somebody, I had to give them my account number, which I had no idea what it was. I want to be able to click one button to talk to Wells Fargo, and I want them to answer it as if it's a hotel concierge saying, "Hello, Mr. Cooper, what can I do to help you with your business checking account?" And that's what's possible with this kind of technology. Now, why does it work? Why does SSI make such a big difference? Well, so here's you, the company. And in order to communicate, what we do is we basically give both sides a digital wallet. And once they have that digital wallet, then we're able to create private keys. And then those private keys get a corresponding public key stored on a blockchain. And we say it's a blockchain-powered phone system. This is the blockchain part. Don't miss it because it's only a small part of it, but it's significant because that's how it gets, basically the whole system ends up working. And then what that gets us, so when you want to connect to somebody, you send a request to connect to them, they send a response, yes, they send it back. Now we have a secure, unique channel just between you and that other company. It's just for you. We call it the bat phone, right? Because when Batman wants to call Commissioner Gordon, he picks up the bat phone and Commissioner Gordon doesn't go, "Give me your bat date of birth," or "What's your mother's maiden name?" He's like, "I can't give it to you. I have a secret identity," right? So this is what is possible between, if you're a business, this is what's possible between you and every one of your customers, to have this private connection. That's so significant, right? And that's before we've chosen any kind of the means that we're going to communicate, right? And that's why I say it's the greatest communication channel ever built. So I don't have time actually to go into all of the ramifications of this. I really invite you to come and talk to me after. I'd happy to go into all of these things, but it just opens up a whole new world of possibilities that you can't do with any other system. A few things that you'll be very happy to, when you're on our system: no passwords, no PINs, no ID questions. no waiting on hold, no starting over, no transfers. These are the three things that when you survey people, what do they hate about corporate phone systems? These are the top things on their list. And because we're solving it from the ground up, these go away. And this enables one-click customer support, which enables faster business process. And very significantly, it reduces an incredible amount of liability and compliance costs because of the GDPR, the ability for the user to control their data. Our revenue model is based on a tried and true revenue model. There is money there on the table with a lot of companies who want to spend it on a better communication system. We don't have to invent a new market. We just have to go give them a better solution. And the two of the models that we're targeting are tried and true. Our user segments, we basically can give it free to the average user, and the companies pay for it. And then we have levels of that. The market is amazing. I mean, this is just the contact center market in general. We're focused specifically on that market, but like Twilio, for instance, puts the entire communications market at $1 trillion. Yeah. And there's actually some talk in, Drummond Reed gives a great talk about how the whole SSI market is $1 trillion market. And in every one of those interactions requires communications. So we are very happy to be part of all this, the incubator and aligning with Sovereign. And I'm very pleased to announce that we just signed a strategic partnership with Evernym so that Evernym can get this technology to all their companies that they're working with. And we were just talking to Global ID today about a strategic partnership and also with CU Ledger. So the interest is there, and we're super excited to bring this to market. And we're currently where we're at right now is we need some early adopters to do proof of concepts. And so, of course, we want to talk about investment, come to us and talk about it, but that's the stage we're at. And that's it. All right, that's it. Thank you so much for watching. If you're interested in HearRo at all, please contact me at HearRo.com. Thanks.